Hey guys, what is good? Here for another episode. You're joining me just before the market opens. It's currently 1:55 CST time. We're currently in a trade on our take profit trader accounts. Unfortunately, a bit of a recap. I had to reset the accounts, had the 5 going at once, and unfortunately just got tilted on Monday. I was trading the day Trump was getting elected. There was a US bank holiday. All these factors combining to just be a very low probable setup, and I just got tilted. I was in a trade, I had my stop loss below break even for profit, and then unfortunately just got wicked out, ran straight through my stops, didn't get filled, took a loss, revenge trading just kicked in. Thank God the Topstep accounts were locked out at the maximum $200 loss limit. Unfortunately, I had to restart, but it's going okay. We had 1.5K there yesterday. Right now, we're currently up about $700, as we can see here. So I'm probably going to consider just shutting myself out of this one as we do have open coming up pretty soon. VWAP approaching here as well. So what I might do is just go stops pretty much to break even. I still think we move lower. We'll just have to see on an hourly time frame what that's looking like. The hourly is looking nice. If we get a bearish closure here in these last 2 minutes, the hourly is going to close bearish, which would mean further pricing to the downside. So I'm just trying not to psych myself out. Just want to see how we react to these lows. Ideally, we want these taken and continue moving to the downside. But if we just get a wick and then we respond back with momentum, I'm just going to take myself out of this trade. But this is looking nice. Looks like we're pushing these lows. Looking for about 1.3 to hit the max for the day. But honestly, we'll probably just look to close a minute out, especially if we can't take these lows, because I have a feeling we've got some equal highs resting here. If you look back as well, equal highs. There's so much liquidity resting at this spot here. I have a feeling we might run up before we go down. But ideally, if we can just start spooling from here, we should just open up 3 o'clock and just explode to the downside. Got to be mindful that I don't go above the max, so about $700 away or so, about 600, let's say, just to keep it safe. So 1.2 around there, we'll just look to close out the trade. Just watching for this last minute. If we get above here, I'll close myself out. But if we can continue moving down, it's going to be pretty good for the open. I think we'll just spill to the downside. Stop zone profit, it's going to be a lot less than what we currently have here. That is the game plan that we have for the moment. All right, so just watching how we react. And then after this trade, we'll switch to the Topstep accounts. We really want to see price start rejecting from this point here. If we don't see that, just going to take out, going to take myself out here. I think we run for the highs before coming down, but $600 on the day, like, fine. I really can't complain with that. So I'm probably just going to leave the take profit traders out and then look to take the rest of the trades on the Topstep accounts now. And there's the open for 3. See if these highs get ran. Definitely good call on taking ourselves out there when we did. Just see if we have a terminus on this. Ideally, if we can just open and then fold right back down. Looks like a little bit of liquidity run here. Taking out all these highs and then looking for a spill. On the hourly, we did close bearish. I can definitely confirm that without even looking. We respected the CB. Body is still underneath this CB right here. So I think this is just a liquidity grab. Take out the recent highs and then continue moving to the downside. All right, so back to this is what I was talking about. I have all these equal highs right here, hourly right here for the recent hourly high. And then also on an M15, we actually do have a volume imbalance sitting right there, which we have just tapped. So there's that volume imbalance. There's all of that liquidity gone. We'd be looking to see what type of reaction we get. So if we start moving to the downside, ideally on the 30-second chart here, inverting this, then that's our green light. We've already had a bit of a total soup here. So see if we can still push lower. If we can, then we'll look to take the trade on the Topstep accounts here, just risking 1 micro. This is looking nice. Bodies are still respecting this red line. We're coming down now into this busy. So ideally wanting this inverted. If we can get a closure down below this low, then I'll look to enter in 1 micro on the Topstep accounts. Pretty decent volume to the upside here on 5. And we have almost inverted this. We've just taken more liquidity though. The hourly closing bearish, respecting this SIBI, is what inclines me to believe that we're still going to be pushing lower here, but we've just got to wait and see. This is looking pretty nice, I'd imagine on the 30, yeah. So coming back down to this spot here, which is looking likely for sell. So I'm going to put sell order in here. We're just doing our 1 to 2 position sizing, so I can risk a little bit more because ideally we don't want these hourly highs taken. we do, that's Asian session highs. So can add a bit more risk on this trade as well. This will be the play. See if we can get back up in here, and then looking to probably add 2 more. Actually, we'll keep the risk light, learning from my previous lessons on going just a bit too heavy with the size. All right, so we'll add another one in there. We shouldn't be getting above these highs that we've just created here. I think that's really determined us. But here's our profit target for the day. It's resting above NDOG now, which I'm a little bit more happy with. We'll keep the risk at 2 for now, seeing if we can invert all this. Reaction as expected after seeing that big push up. We just need to get through this. If we can move down below all of this, we're green lighted to expect that run lower. This is really nice on a M15 as well. Just wicking, putting up into that VI, and then move to the downside. So looking to add in 1 more position here. It's looking really nice. So we'll go still below profit loss limit for the day by about $30. Everything's at a good level right now. We don't really need to do too much. Let's just wait and see. I might potentially look at taking this on the take profit traders as well. Just low risk, risking $100 if it takes the high. Let's just see what the risk reward on this actually is. This is 1 to 2, obviously. Probably be a little bit higher actually. Let's have a look. Yeah, 0.4 here. So just wait and see if we respect this level. If we don't, and we're looking to close above these highs, we're just gonna have to get out of the trade a little bit earlier. That's all right. Again, we are bouncing off this 1 minute BC off that big open move. Watching the M15 is really going to be key. If we can close bearish or below this CB, yeah, it'll green light us just a little bit more. We do have equal highs resting just above, so I might put my stop a little bit higher at the body of this candle. We don't get above here, but we would have to wait and see. All right, might get stopped out here on this short. Looks like we are pumping to the upside. Yeah, we've already taken out those highs, so more than likely we're going to go for Asian highs. But if we can see some movement to the downside, then we can look at potentially getting back in. We're about half of the risk allowed for the day, so it's a little bit rough, but that's okay. Let's double check. All right, so we've just taken Asian highs, looking to see if we continue and moving up to this daily liquidity. We do have this resting high right here. This massive gap with this volume imbalance looks very suspicious though. Potentially we might just run for that high and then look to this pull lower. But if we start seeing displacement to the downside here with similar volume, I like that this volume has more volume than this candle and we didn't move higher. So that's like a sort of divergence that you can use to say we might be reversing. And this looks like it right here. So I'm actually going to jump back in on this trade. Just going to wait and see. Yeah, this is looking nice. Ideally, we want a little bit more volume. It's just to show that we do have sellers actually involved, and it's not just buyers letting sellers push price down to get in long. Going even for a short move stops just at this high right here, and then looking to partial off in here. We need a fair bit of size though, but that's not a bad idea. Already inverting this. We have this big volume on this wicking candle right here, and we've just taken Asian highs as well. So even on an M15, we probably should just wait for the next 7 minutes and just see where we close. And even like on a 1, ideally this should be like a 5 minute, and looking for a market structure shift. If we can get an M5 closure below here, I think this green lights us to look for the moving lower. I don't like being against the trend though. As we can see, we are strongly bullish. So it probably makes sense that we do just continue higher in. So Asian session high, and we'll just see what price wants to do for the next 5 minutes or so. Glad we didn't try that short. We really need to just see that volume and that displacement in the opposite direction to let you know that, yeah, we are actually reversing. Right now, we're just dancing around. So we can see similar volume, at least to maybe this bullish candle, this bullish candle, or this bullish candle. Then that sort of green lights us. I still like taking Asian session. A lot of liquidity has been taken out here. Hourly high as well. Just wait and see. Starting to see that movement, starting to see that volume getting involved. This is looking really nice for our potential move to the downside here. Just watching our market structure shift on the M5. I think because you've got such a long way to go down, if we can get a closure below here, we'll probably wait for that, especially since we're going counter trend. There's a lot of pockets in here for buyers to get back in pretty aggressively. So until all these pockets are mitigated on the M5, we're just going to sit on our hands on this one. This is looking pretty decent. Expecting this downward move right here. Looking at all of this, even the M15 wicking this high. I think we leave this weekly high, which is also that daily high, until ideally the US session. So I'm hoping now at 3, because we've been moving up, potentially we invert this. 4 o'clock, we have a bit of a push up back into a fair value gap created here, maybe on 1 minute. And 4 o'clock, we start spooling aggressively to the downside, depending on what happens in the next half hour. A very nice closure on the M15 under the Asian session highs, looking like we're coming back up maybe on the 1 minute just to fill out a FBG. So we got this spot in here. So, and just targeting really these equal lows, that's a 4 to 1. So we only need to risk less than $100 here to hit our profit target. Just see the reaction on the 1, maybe even like a 15-second, give us a bit more indication. Probably push this up just a little bit higher too. Ideally, we leave this gap, see the reactions that we're getting. If we push all the way up to here, we're more than likely going to continue this to the upside. But let's just wait and see the actions. Decent, very decent. I don't like that we've come all the way back up here though. It's not a great sign, but we'll just see where 50% of this wick is. So that's that purple line. Where is it? Right there. So in the 13 minutes now, if we can close underneath 50% of that line, that will be a nice tell for us to move to the downside. But we're pushing that right back up here. Doesn't look like really. It's on a 15-second as well. So very rarely, if we're inverting all these levels here, are we going to have a big sharp move to the downside? I'd say. I actually think we do probably push up a little bit higher. I don't like buying all the way up here though. Like, chances are we could potentially come down to here or even here before we keep going. So we'll just wait and see. This is looking nice for a downward move play now. You do have a tiny little 15-second imbalance in here. Just gonna see the reaction once we get to here. But already this is looking quite nice. Just check the M5. Yeah, okay. This is looking pretty good. Struggling to get above this high, pushing down. Just looking at the volume. This candle right here still has the most following the 830 candles spilling down on a 1 now too. Yeah, this is looking nice. I'm going to take this short again here. Start with the 1 micro. Just resting above this high here. Entry is now here. And now target. It's way below end dog here. Might need to get out of this one early. I'm glad we're just going with the 1 micro. Just to wait and see what we need to see. It's a pretty decent reaction. If we can invert this, we'll look to add in 1 more. That's nice. That's very nice. We're going to add in another one here. Go back to our target. Those 3. Still a fair ways to go, but if we've called the top here, we treat the arm. All right, this is nice. Very nice. Seeing if we can get back to our entry, just to add 1 more. Risk is really nice here. So we're not risking too much, which is really good. And then hopefully this can come up a little bit higher for us as well. All right. We got our last fill on this position. Back to 3. Oh, because we're going to have to add on for the costs of the micros as well. And I'm just going to be adjusting the risk as we go, because even this reaction right here is not looking too great. Nice, we're starting to get some volume stepping in, some volatility. If you can get below this imbalance here and close below, look to add in 1 more. Just put stops at this high. Crazy bit of volume right there at that volume imbalance. Seeing if buyers want to hold this, it looks like we want 2 stops can go here now, based on what we're seeing. Nice push. Stopped out once more. Super frustrating. I'm still struggling to see buyers wanting to take this higher. We are seeing a fair bit of volume step in here now, actually. So just got to keep that in mind. Watch this 1 minute. Maybe this was the final total shoot. See how we go. Again, if this 15-minute respects this wick, then that's probably going to be our green lights. We don't really have a trade for another 3 minutes. Only got about $180 actually left to work with here. Got to keep the risk small, see if we can at least reduce the drawdown that we're in. Does look like the long play is the move here, especially based on all of this. So I think we should probably give up with the idea of trying to short this now. I think we've got enough reason for us to believe that prices will move higher on us here. So do we get a 1 minute closure above all of this? Yeah, so I think the play is to look for longs now for sure, based on all this volume, the momentum, obviously throughout the day. Just gotta be mindful of 4 o'clock as well. I wonder if maybe we run this and at 4 we start spooling down, but we're still not too far above the Asian session highs as well. So that's something to note. We haven't really expanded with explosive strength. And even with this volume here, if we compare it to all these candles back here, it's nothing crazy. But then again, we haven't really seen much volume on the short side. See if we can take a long in 1 minute. But probably this volume imbalance right here, actually. Just a bit slow, targeting the daily and weekly highs right here. Looks like we might not get there, but I'm just going to be patient for this one and we'll just see if we can. Start with the 1 micro. We're very close to 4 o'clock now. We are at that weekly high and that daily high level. So ideally we want to just wick this. We're still having a bit of resistance right here. So if we leave double highs like this, we're more than likely just going to pull back on a lower time frame and then continue to go take it out. But let's just wait and see what the volume is like at 4 o'clock, because that's where we'll get a big volume injection and then we'll be able to know. So ideally in this last minute, I'd like us to be very close to here. Then 4 o'clock, we spool a bit higher and then quick reversal to the downside. That's the ideal play here. But if we just push and continue pushing up, we'll probably just look for longs, to be honest. Join the continuation move and target around here. Or maybe on a 4 hour, we do have some cibbies resting here. So we do have this level to potentially target as well. So let's draw this out. Yep, so this is ideal. Last 10 seconds here. Seeing if we can get a closure very close to this high. Okay, 4 o'clock has just hit. We still didn't take out this high, unfortunately. We're about a tick, literally a tick away. So the high you'll see is 896.75. Looking right here. And then this high is 897. So literally a tick away from taking it, which leads me to believe that we're probably just going to leave this and then come back. It will be a nice draw for longs in there. So just waiting to see. We've got all these 1 minute levels that we were talking about before, but with this volume that's now being introduced, it's 4 o'clock, usually a reversal time frame. Seeing if we get a closure. Ideally wanting a closure first below this low, and then the better one would be like this line here or this low right here for downside continuation. So we're seeing on the M5 here, seeing whether we close below this volume imbalance. We do have some imbalances down here still, but looking at this volume, this is looking quite nice. Pushing back up, some bullish momentum, a lot of volume at this spot here. So a lot of transactions have been done, has more than really any other candle that we've seen until we're at this 320 mark. So just seeing if we can get above here, if we respect this, if we can invert this volume imbalance right here. I really don't like that we have left these equal highs on a really high time frame as well. So it would be cool if these could be swept first, but more than likely based on this, if we're going to sweep, I think we're just going to continue higher. So if we get a closure above this, we'll just look to jump in on this high time frame move. And then we've got this 4 hour CB resting up in here. So probably look to get out of the trade up here if it wants to run. We're going to wait for this M5 closure. Last minute to go. So if we can close bearish once again, I think that green lights us to look for a move to the downside with this volume on the 5 minute, which check the 15 as well. Yeah, just worried about this midnight open, having a 15-minute busy right there as well, and not taking these highs as well. So just got to be very careful. So we're still respecting 50% of this gap that we have open here on a 1 minute. We did react off this volume imbalance. So you just have to wait and see what happens if we get up to here. If we close below this, I'm going to be in for a short and just put stops at our highs right here. Come back, it is what it is. Big push up. Looks like it's been eaten right away. See if this minute holds this 50% line once again. If it does, and we close like here, it's looking nice. Then we're in for a short. The body has closed above 50%. I just realized it's not an inversion candle. 50% doesn't really matter. It is just the whole box. So we don't close above, but I'm just gonna wait again for this M5. If we invert this, then we're looking for long stops can go just at the Asian session high, but we'll just have to wait and see. Waiting for this last minute. Yeah. It is very wicky though. We haven't really moved too much as well. So we might potentially just miss out on London session today and then come back for the USA's AM session. See how we go once I think we still take these highs. It's just too much of a draw. See what happens once we take this. If we continue schooling up, then yeah, we're just jumping in on the long continuation play. So instead, we've inverted this. So now this is our inversion for value. Yep, there go the highs. There we go. That's what I was meaning. So we've got a lot of orders resting right there. A lot of volume that has just been injected. So see if we respect 50% of this in this last minute, or whether we just absolutely start spooling to the downside here. If we respect, we're in for a long here. So many people would have just got stopped out right there. Hence why that volume is coming up pretty high. Let's see here. Okay, taking all that liquidity, and now we've inverted this inversion. So this green lights me to look for shorts. So we're gonna start with one, as usual. Stop loss can go here. Need $2. Loss, so we can go one more micro added in. See if we can get up to that here. See where this is going to be, because this will be our inversion for value up now again. Ideally, this will be the high. See if we can cut back up into here. Okay, I don't like that we're eating all of this up so soon. Decent reaction, still 50%. This really isn't the version. Let me delete this. Already filled out all of this, so ideally we're wanting to get back down here. Then we'll look to add in one more. That's straight to a lower time frame now. You're probably wondering as well why I have this. It's actually freezing in my room right now. Turned up the AC and it's still hectic. All right, nice. Add one more in here. All right, cool. So hopefully this is now our spool to the downside. So we're actually going to be around here, close to the end of. So let's see if we can get there. So I'm liking this volume on this candle right here after taking out liquidity as well. And at 4 o'clock. So this does green light us now to hopefully anticipate some movement to the downside. So even if we don't get all the way down here, I think we can just look to mitigate some of this loss and then potentially come back in AM session, try to see if we can get the rest. But again, we could just hit like midnight again, or maybe this 1 minute busy in here and then look to follow. So I'm actually going to just adjust stops as we're moving, keep the risk really low. Still going counter trend right now, but hopefully we caught the top of this move. Waiting to see in this last minute. If we get a bearish closure, we might look to add in one more, making sure that we're in the green. I need to start working on that too. Making sure my trades are in the green before I'm adding into my position. So there's not much point adding in here, even though it's probably like a 15 second city we're at right now. All of this has been filled, so ideally shouldn't be coming back up here. To be patient. We have been spooling up for so long though, so there's going to be a lot of buyers that are still interested in going long here. We have inverted this 5 minute, so it's all looking pretty positive for the time being. I think I might have moved my stops a little bit too early here. I still think that we respect this. We might go to 50% this week before coming back down again. But just based on that reaction, we haven't pushed too much higher above the ASH event meanderings. And it's a pretty big premium as well, obviously, just from an M5 perspective, or if you zoom out to an M15, like we've been pushing up for quite some time here. If we can invert this, we'll look to add into the position now, making sure that we're green. So based on these few reactions, we've just had a gap up as well. I'm inclined to take myself out if we get above this high, just based on the reactions that we're seeing here. It probably was just a VWAP tap, a lot of buyers, but I can see it based on this volume, like this is crazy. Right when we took that high, that indicates to me that a lot of buyers have exited out of their position. So more than likely people that were all long holding for this point, and then they're all out. So there's less buyers available in the trade now. Before it would have been like what, 70, 80% buyers, 20% sellers. But now with majority of the buyers out, it evens out the playing field a bit. But the buying pressure is still too strong. It's just going to keep on ripping. So let's just wait and see. Still have this tiny 1 minute volume imbalance right here. So I wonder if that's where price is going for. Approaching this 15-second VG in here now. So if we can close below, this gives me a bit more hope that we're going to spool down. This, I think, is just a VWAP tap. Obviously, people try to go long still here, but just not recognizing the volume. And a lot of the buyers, they were previously getting out. Looking good so far, though. Looking for that inversion. So, yeah, definitely going to be some buyers here, but just needing that selling pressure now. Okay, so I did take myself out early. I didn't hit record, apologies. But I just saw this gap up and I was like, we've got some buyers stepping back in. So Took myself out. This is 50% of that wick that we just took the previous high with, seeing if we respect that or whether we want to break above. Now I am leaning bullish now though, based on all the PA, and then buyers are starting to step back up on the volume as we can see here. Still very bullish at this point. Downward move has already been erased. So I think right now, honestly, the best play is just look for longs. So we're going to get in long here. I'm probably going to go pretty big on the risk. We haven't got too much. That's all actually. But I think we continue expanding from here just based on all the reactions that we're seeing. I think 3 is going to be a bit too much. Even 2 might be too much. This is a clear draw. So I might just have to be patient. But yeah, definitely flipping bullish now, especially if we get a closure above here. Nice. Seems like we're pushing a little bit now. Hopefully in the next minute or so we can fill in here. This ideally is going to be a entry and then stops really hectic. We have bullish momentum for sure. Just seeing if we can get a better price. I know I probably should just go straight in based on these reactions. I think we're just going to keep pushing here. Yeah. Very unlikely we look for an entry in here. Probably going to be a breakaway gap. But just got to be patient. Just got to be patient. Seeing the reaction on this little block here. This should be protected now. All right, watching the reaction. If we get here, we've still got these gaps below us. So just got to be mindful. If I can wait to get in here, I'll just take the time and wait till we're here before looking to get in. Yeah, like on a 5-minute, we do have this gap in here as well. So let's just be patient, see the reaction here of the volume imbalance. We can get rid of this box too as well. All right, it's pulling down lower for now at least. See where this closes because we've already opened below here. I think we look to run a little bit lower. This M5 isn't looking too healthy, but yeah, still long. Just not going to fight the trend anymore. It'll be funny, eh? The minute I switch to go long, all of a sudden all the sellers are going to get involved and just push this down. But let's just wait and see. Start with the one micro. Just stick with that for now. Push it back. There's the 5-minute, which is there. I think we still spool a little bit lower here. So put our limit order in here and just wait and see. Hold it for now. Still hoping that we can get down to this 1 minute. Yeah. Seconds. I still think with this massive hole, we still go for it first before moving away. Just got to be patient. Very close to getting filled now. We are at the bottom of that. So I'll just move this just to make sure that we do get filled here. Very close. Looks like we might be. M15 is always 15 seconds, so it is always stressful. Yeah, just holding on again to the fact that this 1 minute has still been left open here. We haven't even gone into this. Just got to be patient. Patience pays. I just have to keep telling myself that patience will pay. All right, there's a tap. Let's just see the reaction now. All right, decent pull away. Like that reaction, we're gonna add another one in here. Stop's gonna be resting just here. With this low on this M4, it looks all right to me. And let's see if we can continue this bullish momentum. This isn't looking the greatest. Downward move right here. We did spill. We're expecting VWAP here. See if we can get above all of this. 1 minute wasn't ideal, but looks like we're pushing back up. We're going to add one more in here. 3 positions. This will be our max loss for the day if we come back down. It's really super frustrating, but it is what it is. Profit target is about here. Let's see. It's pretty much just a set and forget for now. Probably look to adjust stops if we can take this high. But if we just spool to the downside, as I was saying before, the minute I try to go long, then all of a sudden we start spooling. But let's just wait and see. Don't want to talk too soon. Yeah, I'm not liking this tap on VWAP once again. This isn't looking good. With the liquidity here. Yeah, we might just spool lower here. Yeah, sugar. Taking myself out. Got 15 bucks. Ay. Just a rough one today. Okay, so this M15 isn't looking great at all. I think now is where we start to see a bit of spooling to the downside. This is probably actually, I've just unlinked all the accounts as well. So I have like 4 more attempts at $15 really. So this is going to be 1 attempt. Still respecting 30-second, like with 15-second imbalance all the way here. Respecting VWAP now to the downside. Just wait and see if we can mitigate our loss from before. See if we respect this on a 15. We'll look to take it on the other accounts if we do. Looks like we are. But I need to see a bit more selling action here. That's closed, pretty bearish. If there's any more gaps we could be going for, we might take this high. Okay, something might be spilling from close below here, right? Nope. Yeah, I think we start moving lower from here. So yeah, I'm going to take another one on this account. Stops. Yeah, I think we get all the way down here. I think this is pretty ambitious right here. But let's just wait and see. We're in on the same short on 3 of these accounts. We're just going to leave one free at the moment. I'm liking these gap downs. I'm liking we are trending lower now on a lower time frame. But this could just be very bad conditions to be trading in. We haven't really seen much volume too. So the play probably was to wait for AM session for the US, but let's just wait and see. Bit cautious of midnight too. So if we can get down to here, stops will more than likely go to break even. If we can, that is. We do have imbalances all waiting in here as well. So we just got to be mindful of all that. We are back in short here. So I looked on the 3 minute. We tapped up to here. We respected this. Looks like we're dropping with momentum now. So VWAP approaching on the 30-second. But really wanting a closure below this. Stops can actually go break even here, to be honest. I don't think we have any reason to come back this high. I don't want to do it too soon, just in case we try another retap, maybe up in here and then spool, but looking decent. As decent as you can expect, being 185 down on the day. Nice, starting to get some movement away, which is good to see. Stops can just go break even. I've entered it on all the accounts now. We're a little bit higher on these ones, which is always a good thing. But tiny bit of profit looks like we're going to be taking if we do come all the way back up. Ideally, we just spool from here, but let's wait and see. Midnight, we have already all tapped it. We've got these bissies in here, but hopefully we can just get a spooling now as we initially planned all the way down to this new day opening gap. I think 7 o'clock is going to be the reversal time. So hopefully in the next 2 hours we can get there. But again, because the day has been so bullish already, we might just take out the liquidity resting here and then reverse back up. So probably look to take one of these off, just depending on the reaction. But hopefully we can continue this downward momentum for the time being. Decent closure coming up on the M5 here. This is looking pretty good. Might come tap back in here before moving lower. But next spot of contention would be in here. See how the hourly closed? Actually, I just missed that one. So big long wick. We got hourly bitsies right in now. So probably look to take profit on probably half of these, and then we'll leave the others. It's like a bit of a run up below midnight. $39. Nice. And we'll do it on this account too. We are stopped up once again. We're back to pretty much 184 accounts. We did take a bit of a shallower stop. So I think that's probably going to be us done for this session. AM, I'm not really going to have $15 available. So it's probably best that we just lock ourselves out of these accounts today, which is a bit super unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're just going to protect that capital and try again when the conditions are a bit better for us. The yucky London session, which does lead me to believe that New York AM is going to be pretty big. Yeah, sign off here, and thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace.